morning, small players. Yesterday was a little bit slow in terms of scan results that we got in the morning, and even during the trading day, we had some nice trades. There were some nice movers, but I think the most a stock move throughout the day was 30%. So obviously, if it moves 30%, you don't catch the whole move. You can catch quite a lot of it, especially if it goes, if it does the zigzag moves, and you can, trade level to level support and resistance trades. But it wasn't too exciting of a trading day. So today, I thought we can start this stream a little later so that we have a few more stocks on the scanner and potentially get to the 9 a.m. news that some companies might drop. We normally end the stream before 9 a.m. so you guys have time to review it. But it's something to keep in mind. 9 a.m. is a time when the scanner typically gets populated with a couple more stocks at least because of news being dropped. Okay, so the first one is WATT. Let's draw the support and resistance levels on this one. This is obviously a very key level. Every time we have such a sharp rejection, we want to pay attention to that. So that's 2.8, and it seems like when it broke above it, we had a little bit of a squeeze to full dollar almost, but then there's a lot of rejections here on 294, so we're going to mark that level as well. Also, this was a 5-minute flag break, and we see it had a very nice resolution. So it's something that we'd like to keep an eye on again. Here it was forming a flag, but never broke it. And then when it broke below VWAP and that key level of 2.8, short sellers started squeezing it. So, not squeezing it, started destroying it. So they can start getting squeezed on break above 280, right? Because that's the key level that we will be using to trade the stock all day long. So I'd be interested in break above that for entry. Also, it's doing this EMA 20 bounce here. So, that would have been a nice trade as well. At this point, it's a little late for that. And just like that stock that we reviewed yesterday, when it did a little bounce, but there was no increased volume, we want to be careful. This one did have increased volume in terms of, it's almost like twice the volume from the previous candle. So we like that. So that could be a good bounce trade. The high of this candle is 270. The high of this candle is also 270. So a break above 270, which is happening right now, is first 5-minute candle to make a new high, and we trade those as well. So that's a trade that I would take also if I had missed the EMA 20 bounce. And those are sometimes pre-market. They're sometimes harder to catch because you can use stop orders, you can use stop limit buy. But sometimes they'll do that break and then they'll come down like this and test it again. So then it sort of gives you a second opportunity to enter on the same level. So that's why it's important to watch your levels and be patient, wait for a setup. If you miss a setup, never chase. So if you were supposed to enter on the break and then you want all the way up here, no need to buy here because it's too late already. Wait for it. It'll set up something else. They most oftentimes do. And if they don't set up a new setup, that just means they're not moving. They're not doing a lot, in which case it's fine that you didn't enter, right? Because what are you going to do with it? Okay, so that's that for VATT. I actually have to clean this up from yesterday. I'm going to leave this, and I'm actually going to leave the Bitcoin ones also. Okay. I'm going to clean these up. This is probably from some point in the past that we've traded this. I honestly don't even remember it. But it's so funny, right? Because you see where the lines were on the chart. It's literally trading at the same spot than probably, 8 months ago when we were trading it. And it's a gap up, right? So it just goes to show you how risky these stocks are. That's why we don't hold them overnight. So we've traded in this range at some point, let's say 8 months ago. It dropped, all the way down here. Like what? Let's see what percentage that is. Great, thanks, Thinkorswim. 35% drop. Best case scenario. Who knows how low it was before that, right? And then it finally gaps up again on some stupid news, and people can break even, right? It's a waste of time. These small caps, This is why we don't hold them overnight. Yes, every now and then maybe you will hold them and get extremely lucky. Most of the time, you are going to be losing money. So just keep that in mind. Okay. This one also, VWAP is obviously a very key level. When it broke below VWAP, we see short sellers started destroying it. It's consolidating here, but it hasn't quite touched this level of 287, which is the high of this candle. So I'm going to open a 1-minute chart and see if it's finding bottom somewhere else there. Yeah, I wanted to see if it touched maybe EMA 50 or something. Oh, excuse me. But no, it hasn't really touched anything. So I don't know. It's doing this consolidation. It's fighting this EMA 20 line. I would not touch this until it breaks above VWAP because I don't know what it's bouncing on, but okay. EDSA is actually something that we traded, I want to say a few weeks ago. I definitely remember seeing it on the scanner. Obviously, still see where our support and resistance lines are. Still trading in the same range after gapping up, right? So then, similar story as this one. I'm going to add this one to the watch list because it's a name that traders will recognize because it was recently on scanner. And at the same time, the chart is nice. At this specific moment, it's not setting up a trade, but the chart is nice. So we like this level, obviously sharp projection there. We like this level that touches those two. And then let's look at the 1-minute chart and see where this one is finding bottom. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see on this one, but I don't see what it's bouncing on. So this one makes more sense, right? It's bouncing on EMA 20. We like that. We know the support that it's trailing. So I would take an EMA 20 bounce on this trade because there's enough room to VWAP. So it's a 4% move. So you can probably catch a 2.5% trade on that. So there's enough of a range to trade it. And then obviously if it breaks above VWAP, then we can test the other levels. So I like that. Also, the high of this candle is an important level, so I'm going to mark that and see it might give a secondary EMA bounce just in time. Yeah, DSA, nice, okay. Yes, I remember this one. Testing, not bouncing in, and what is this, 9.5? You might want to test 9.5. It goes below 9.5, I wouldn't be interested anymore, but let's see. Testing EMA, this is trying to bounce. It's too close to 9.5. It might want to test it, but let's just watch it for a second so you guys can see. Basically, because it's the 1-minute chart, sometimes if it keeps doing this, you say to yourself, oh, it's bouncing, and then, oh, it's not, oh, it's not. So if it starts, if you really don't know what it's doing, sometimes I just decide to wait for the next candle and wait for the first 1-minute candle to make a new high, and I call that a bounce confirmation because we got some increased volume, not quite double yet. Okay, now it's doubling up. So this is good enough volume increase, but volume goes both ways, right? It goes for selling and it goes for buying, and the candle closed below that EMA. So it seems like it really can't find a bounce. We're going to give it a second to see if it bounces on 950. And then that trade will be a little riskier if you do a 950 bounce because we know this EMA 20 is going to serve as resistance. So if it doesn't get enough volume in buyers, you could get a bounce on 920 and then you could get rejected on 960. And that's not a lot of range to trade. And earlier there was a spread. Now I see that the spread sort of seems to have closed off in just 2 cents. Earlier there was like a 6-cent spread, so that makes the trade even riskier. Okay, we're seeing some buyers on 50. That's the bounce. You see that tape flashing like that. That's what you want to see. That's sort of the confirmation. The spread opened up again though, so that's the problem. If you're trading, it's a small move as it is, and if you have such a big spread, sometimes it's just safer to wait until a little later in the day when the volume picks up and the spread closes. But that's basically what you guys saw here was the perfect bounce confirmation when that screen flashed green on 950, saw the volume increase. That's the proof that it found support. And what now is rejecting 960, of course. What we said, what made the trade risky, right? Because the EMA 20 is right there. I'm going to also mark this level because there's support there and there's some resistance here. So that's another level to watch. And then VWAP. And then 10, 25, I'll say. Okay, cool. Cool. KRKR. I don't remember this thing. This has a nice big range. Right now it's in no man's land. I wouldn't trade it here, but I like that if it does open up, it has a lot of room to move. So I trade a, break above VWAP on this. There's no sort of barcoding right now, so I don't worry about it at the moment. Okay. Ooh, this one was a very big trade just last week, so so the volume is obviously extremely low right now, but I'm gonna add it on watch list so I don't forget about it because it had news this morning, and maybe traders will pick up on it and start trading it as the day goes by because, like I said, it was a very big trade just maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, so it's fresh on everyone's mind. So I would expect traders to react to it if they see it. Yeah, no, too early to take any trades now. And then I left BBIG on the scanner because it had a nice big move again yesterday. We love trading the stock. It shows up on scanners so frequently and gives us some insane moves. This level that kept being rejected so many times yesterday, once it broke above it, it was an insane squeeze. It was great. These are my favorite trades. Just give me that one big candle at once, let me go in and out and go about my day. I like the quick trades. So today it looks like it's rejecting that level once again. So if it breaks above 850, I would take a trade again. It might be the same squeeze as yesterday because look at this. It's rejecting again. It's also testing support too much. So obviously if it drops below 825, that's a short. That's what short sellers are gonna short it up until 8. So if you're a short bias trader, you will want to also mark this. It's really 825 because it's a psychological level, but you can mark this to keep an eye on it for a short position. And then I have Riot and Mara here because Bitcoin is, making moves. And when Bitcoin's making moves, these guys are great to trade. Yesterday, we were watching this level break about 50 for a squeeze. It squeezed all right. It was really nice. And we had this triple top here. So this is also obviously a key level. So it's trailing this VWAP, I suppose, nicely. So there could be opportunities there if the volume picks up. Obviously, it's a little too low at the moment. And you guys know we talk about it in the mornings. I think 2 days ago, I went into more detail on Riot and Mara and how they trade with each other. So be sure to just watch the old streams if you are new and you're just tuning in today, because even though the specific trades that we're talking about might no longer be applicable because the stock is trading in a different range or not even gapping up that day, just the knowledge and the practice of putting support and resistance and the conversations about where squeezes happen or how some certain things trade and behave could be very helpful for you guys. Okay, that's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy trading.